Ryse, Son of Rome, the testosterone-fueled action ROM from Crysis developers Crytek, is the go-to technical showpiece for the Xbox One, but is it worth the price of admission? That depends on your tolerance of repetition, but for myself, yes. Yes it is. The most obvious thing to point out about Ryse is the graphics. This game is gorgeous! From time to time there are odd graphical hiccups like a texture not loading immediately and the occasional clipping, but for the most part Ryse Son of Rome will have your jaw on the floor as you watch spectacular battles be brought to life thanks to stunning character models, realistic lighting, and fluid animations. Ryse is also not a game for those that can't handle the regular sight of limbs being hacked off, all in an admittedly glorifying cinematic way. But hey, we're talking about Roman centurions fighting barbarians here, folks, so respectfully, I'm sure they wouldn't go easy on each other. Oh, look at that. One more. Oh, brutal, yet beautiful. On the plus side is the core gameplay itself. Yes, what you may have heard from other reviews and the talk around town about repetitive gameplay is true, but the mechanics themselves are rock solid. Imagine the Arkham Batman fighting engine, but with less gadgets and options. You'll fight multiple targets at once, sometimes up to 8 or 10 on harder difficulties, which I recommend playing on by the way, and you'll be able to attack with medium and heavy sword attacks as well as shield attacks. You can parry with your shield as well as roll to quickly dodge. Once you get a handle on the mechanics, you'll be stringing 50+ hit combos together, and while the gameplay isn't very deep, there is some light added depth. When pulling off executions, you'll earn more points by timing your button presses perfectly. These executions are optional, but essential for gaining the most experience, which is then allocated to one of 4 reward perks that you can change on the fly during combat. Choose to be upgraded with health, focus meter, bonus experience, or added damage. The game rewards calculated inputs rather than button mashing. That being said, you can totally mash your way through some of the game. The story of Ryse is actually another plus, which was a nice surprise. Without giving away too much, you play as a Roman soldier who as a young man has his entire family slain before him. He seeks revenge, and along his path, truths are unearthed that will lead him to a fate he never imagined. Soon battling within the brutal coliseums in front of thousands he once thought brothers. The campaign is only 6 to 9 hours in length depending on difficulty, but it's engrossing thanks to characters who are all brought to life wonderfully by great performance capture. The acting itself is above average for a video game as well. Take a peek for yourself.
They have no honor. These vermin dare to stand against the might of Rome. They deserve to suffer our retribution.
Our retribution? Or yours?
Sir,
Enough!
Ryse also features a co-op multiplayer mode which may not keep you engaged for months on end, but it will offer a nice distraction for those that enjoy the combat. The multiplayer is basically a wave-based horde-like mode where you'll battle against enemies of increased strength and numbers with a friend. The catch is the Colosseum itself changes in layout and appearance over the course of a battle. As you fight these waves of tougher enemies, you'll also have to put out fires, secure zones, and free caged civilians. Seriously, look at this. Are you not entertained?
Rome is civilization! Rome is order! Rome is power!
Overall, I enjoyed Ryse Son of Rome a lot more than I thought I would after seeing other reviews of the game. While I agree with a lot of negatives that my peers have stated, including the repetition, none of them bring down the overall enjoyment of the game. If you just got an Xbox One and are still looking for that game to show off what your shiny new console can do, Ryse Son of Rome may just fit the bill.
the battle will be ours.
I had a lot of fun playing Ryse Son of Rome. So, my final thoughts? Rock solid but repetitive gameplay, an interesting and well-realized story, and the most skull-popping graphics you've ever seen on console. Ryse Son of Rome is definitely worth a look. I'm giving Ryse Son of Rome 7.9 out of 10. I'm RedEyeGames, and you can follow me on Twitter at RedEyeGames Live, and please check out my YouTube channel for more game-related media. Until next time, game on!